Welcome back to American Warrior Radio, right here on the Talk To Me station, AM 1300 WMEL. Want to mention real quick, if you miss an episode or you want to re-listen to this one or share it with a friend, go to 1300WMEL.com. 1300WMEL.com. Click on the Archives tab. John O'Hara, one of the engineers here, archives them. They're in MP3 format, easy to share. And also, as I mentioned, you can find all these episodes up on YouTube. All you have to do, go to YouTube, plug in American Warrior Radio or AVET Project, and it'll list all the videos. All these programs are recorded and a lot of other good stuff. And of course, you can always visit the Facebook page, avetproject.org, lower left corner of the home page. Click on the Facebook icon. It'll send you right there. Even if you're not a member, you can still view all of the stuff. And there's a lot of stuff. And I want to send out a special thank you for all his years of service here on American Warrior Radio, our engineer, Vince. Vince, you're doing an awesome job. Keep up the great work. Merry Christmas to you and yours too. And folks, Glenn, we just had an awesome interview. I'm looking so forward to having him back with Lance.
Oh yeah, that's going to be awesome. So me too. Get to both of them here, and
we'll be talking war stories all day long.
Talking war stories all day long in stereo.
For sure. But what an amazing man, and we're so appreciative of his service to our country. And the fact that he was able to come in here today, even though he's straining his vocal cords, share a little bit of it with you. So, Dr. Charles Armstrong, hats off to you for everything you do and will do. We just really appreciate it.
Hoorah!
Glenn, we got a lot of stuff of miscellaneous nature here to share, but there's a whole lot. There's always something going on in the veterans community.
Oh yeah, we got continuing potpourri of veterans benefit information, information about veterans legislative stuff, information about what's going on with AVET, helping the troops and their families and our community. And so with that, I want to get started. I want to
kind of cut this subject short a little last time.
Yeah, we kind of got cut off a little short talking about a new tax break for disabled veterans. And it works like this. If you're over 65 and you own a home and you're service-connected disabled and some of your service-connected or one of your service-connected disabilities is determined to be combat-related, you can now qualify for a discount equal to the amount of the total service-connected disability compensation percentage that you're entitled to. For instance, if you're service-connected disabled and your total rate is 50%, and 10% of that is for a knee problem that was caused because you were in a combat theater and you got injured there, then you qualify as having a combat-related disability rated by the VA. That's important. It has to be rated by the VA. And you're over 65 and you're a homeowner now in the state of Florida. So first off, because you're 50%, you're going to get $5,000 off the assessed value of your home.
Right off the top.
Right off the top.
For Florida residents.
For Florida residents, you're going to get $50,000 more off the assessed value of your home because you're a Florida resident and you're over 60. And then lastly, that's going to leave you owing X amount, let's say $1,000 property tax bill.
Okay.
Now you're only going to owe $500 tax bill because the discount takes down that amount by the discount.
Okay, sure.
Just like a sale in a store, 50% off in this example.
Okay, so the overall disability, you just have to have one that's related to combat. You mentioned the 10%, the dime for the knee or something like that.
Exactly.
But they take your entire disability rating.
But then they take your entire disability rating and that comes off as
I
the
thought
discount.
You were going to say something 10% off the total left over. But
yeah, that's the way it seems to build up. But no, that's not what the law says.
I like it.
And the big change is for all you folks over 65 who are now saying, hey, I may qualify for that. You will probably have a much improved chance because the previous law said you had to have not only been 65 but have entered active duty as a resident of the state of Florida.
Right, that's
and usually when I bring that up, I'm the only person in the room that entered active duty as a resident of the state of Florida. So we're anticipating a a bucket full of business come 1 January when you can start applying. If you apply between January and March, and that'll cover 2013's tax bill that you will end up owing. If you apply after March, it'll go to 2014, so you need to get into that window. And we've already learned, because one person went over there after they read an article I put in a newsletter, and promptly the tax people sent them to our office so we could give them a letter saying we think this person qualifies. We're not the final authority, the tax office is, but I guarantee you in Brevard County, if we tell them we think, you win.
They'll honor it.
Yeah.
And there are, what, 67 counties in Florida.
And so there are 67 different ways of doing it. If you're listening outside of Brevard, I hope your veteran service officer, your county veteran service officer, is involved. We've sent another article out through our association, state association, and encouraged all the county service officers to get involved up front with the property tax people, because we're the people that can help determine that. Property tax people don't know.
Of course not.
Combat disability from Chinola.
Right, but this is a great benefit. I don't know how it came about up in Tallahassee, but it did, and we're thankful for it, and it's going to affect a large number of people.
Yeah, and I do know how it came about. Our
Tell
state association has been pushing the state legislature for 3 years to take out that provision that said you had to enter active duty as a resident from the state of Florida. Because like I said, when I go somewhere, sometimes I'm the only person in the room that entered as a resident of the state of Florida.
So the County Veteran Service Officer Association of Florida has been pushing this.
We were instrumental in that. We picked up other helpers along the way, but we started the big push, and we're going to take credit for it this time.
Heck yeah. Well, folks, that's just a perfect example, though, of strength in numbers. You all come together, just like I've mentioned the Denton program, which is where we can get the Title 10, Section 402, this USAID, which allows space available transport. They handle all the logistics for a nonprofit wanting to send stuff, okay, care packages or whatever, over to foreign nationals in Afghanistan or Africa or wherever. And it's all paid for on the backs of U.S. taxpayers, even though it's military transport space available. But it's prohibited to use that program to support our troops. So AVET Project's EEBs, our empowerment equipment boxes, the care packages, no, we got to pay shipping. That's why I mentioned to you, get online, please. AVETproject.org. Click the donate button. If it's $1, $10, $100, every single dollar is going to help. But also, like you were saying, Glenn, strength in numbers. You got a voice when you all come together.
That's right.
And you can contact your legislators. I don't care if they're even county commissioners. We make enough noise, things start to happen, just like you documented right there with this situation.
Exactly, and I can tell you from personal experience, I've on at least 3 occasions have heard congressional representatives. One was a senator, and the other 2 were congressmen who were not veteran supporters, by the way. And you'll know that when I tell you what happened. And they said, well, we don't worry about veterans issues because they're all split up, and there's no one voice there. You know, there may be millions of veterans out there, but they're all going their own separate ways, and so we don't worry about appeasing that group. That special, they called us a special interest group. Oh man,
Okay.
Can't tell you how happy that makes me.
Politics at its finest.
Yeah. So that, you know, I'm sure we'll be seeing a bunch of you in January, because I would encourage you to go to the tax office first, because there's some other paperwork you're going to have to fill out. There's an application form that they have. We don't have the application form. The tax office does. So start there, and you know, based on the one trial case already, I'm sure they're going to send you to our office, and we'll be happy to help you out. What we're going to want you to bring is your 214 and your rating decisions that the VA has given you. And that's more than one. Bring them all. We want to see them all so that we can help make a determination. Otherwise, there may be a delay while we help you order your copies of your rating decisions, and those don't come real quick. So fortunately, you can apply after 1 March when there's special circumstances that warrant an extension to your application for 2013, and you know, we can work all that out. You can work all that out actually with the tax office. You just need to be available that's there. But again, when you go to the tax office, because you're eventually going to be seeing us, you need your 214 and all your VA rating decisions. And I know a lot of you threw them puppies away. I have no reason, rhyme or reason. You know, you were told the 214, when you got out of the military, this is the most important document you're ever going to be issued in your life. Don't lose it, and you promptly lost it within a month.
It is too
and
important.
There were so many house fires, it's unbelievable.
Right. Well, but with this program, we're talking real money. We're talking
real money.
So,
and we want to help you, but you got to help us to help you, just like any other claim that you put in with the VA. You got to help us help you.
Exactly. Now, we got a bunch of other topics we can discuss. I understand there's a cost of living allowance increase.
Yes, there is, and it affects Social Security, and it affects VA benefits, and it affects active duty pay, and it is 1.7%.
Hey, at least it's on the positive side.
Yeah, at least
they haven't started taking money away yet.
Some extra pennies to keep up with the extra dollars the cost of living went up.
Right, and the poor folks on Social Security, you know, your Medicare goes up right alongside the COLA, and it probably doesn't even equal
out. In the past few years, the cost for Medicare has gone up exponentially compared to the COLA that you got. Well, a couple of years you didn't even get a cost of living allowance.
Yep, that's true.
Then you got a 3.6 cost of living allowance, and I think if you considered the Medicare premium increase as a percent increase, it was like 6% increase. So, you know, you can anticipate more of the same is my personal take on that.
And I want to throw this in there right now. For all you folks that are going to be affected, whether you've got VA compensation coming in or some sort of Social Security, whether it's disability, retirement, and you got money that's coming to you January 1st, even though it was effective December 1st. We all know the rule. You don't get it till the first of the month following the month of being eligible.
That's worth foot stomping. You're not going to see the money until your deposit comes in on January 1st.
Right. So it's money that's on the way but not here yet, and I've got a way for you to spend some of that money and have a great time doing it at the AVET Project Support Our Troops Gala. This is on December 30th from 4 to 6 p.m. at the Indian River Colony Club. Okay, the Support Our Troops Gala. You've been hearing the promos here on AM 1300 WMEL. Please jump online or call 321-373-7046. 321-373-7046, or go online and send an email to kim@avetproject.org. Maybe you're a company and you want to host a table or invite a bunch of active duty folks and you want to prepay their tickets, whatever. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be music, food, delicious food, other entertainment. We've got a magician illusionist going to be there, and I'm going to speak, and hopefully Glenn will be able to join me, and we're going to provide some great information on veterans benefits, whether you're entitled to receive aid and attendance. We're talking real money here that you may not even be aware that you could have coming in. It's all going to be available for you, but you've got to show up at this event. This is an awesome community, Indian River Colony Club, and the community center's just been redone. It's going to be a fantastic time. Why not spend this 1.7% COLA you got coming in?
That's right.
And buy tickets to the AVET Project Support Our Troops Gala at Indian River Colony Club.
And what was the cost again for the ticket here?
Well, very, very good question. A single person can attend for $45, a couple for $85. And we just encourage you to come out and enjoy the evening of fun, food, entertainment, and information.
Oh, absolutely. And it's always information you need. And we both know, Garen and I, that people out there get a lot of street talk about veterans benefits, and only 99% of that is false. And we're going to give you the straight poop, as they talk about.
That's right.
And when you say there's food and drink and stuff there, can you elaborate on that? Is this a sit-down dinner, or what are we going to have here?
You bet. This is going to be a great buffet style with some of the finest food that they have available at Indian River Colony Club. We have the music and dancing is going to be provided by DJ Gene Marine and his karaoke machine. Hey, we may even have karaoke if anybody's interested. We're going to have some great fun events there where photo opportunities. We're going to have some raffle items for drawings and what have you. And we've got a reappearance of captain, who happens to be a chaplain, Jason Gunnels, who's a magician slash illusionist. He's going to be performing on stage some of his wonderful magic and illusions just for your entertainment. It's going to be a real fun time. You've heard the promos. Now it's time for you to act. Jump on the phone, 373-7046, and order your tickets. Or you can go online, avetproject.org, and there's plenty of info on the Facebook page. But I encourage everybody to spend that COLA in a really responsible way, and that's coming out to the Support Our Troops Gala on December 30th. Mark your calendars. December 30th, 4 to 6 p.m. at Indian River Colony Club.
Going to be a great time.
It really is.
And you've already heard how much you're going to get for your money, not to mention that you're going to be supporting AVET, and nothing better could your money be used for. And we want to switch back over into potpourri mode here and talk about something that there is a lot of misinformation about, and that's the temporary 100% rating. What? Temporary 100%.
What's that?
Well, if you're rated by the VA for a service-connected disability.
Give an example, like what, a knee again, 10%
Yeah,
for a knee?
yeah, knee, let's say a knee condition, and you get a total knee replacement surgery, then you're entitled to, let's say your knee was rated 20% before the surgery. Then after the surgery, if your doctor prescribes, it's a bad example because it's longer for a total knee replacement.
Right, there are different variables.
But we'll just stick with this as by way of example and say, okay, if whatever period of time your doctor prescribes for convalescence, as long as it's 30 days or more, for each 30-day increment of convalescence that your doctor prescribes, you're entitled to have your rating raised temporarily to 100% and be paid temporarily at 100%.
And the reason for this is because ostensibly this surgery and the period of convalescence following is going to prevent you or preclude you from working.
Exactly. That is the whole reason behind this. And that's in keeping with the word convalescence. That's what the doctor is saying when he says convalescence is, this is what I believe is a period of time you can't work because of the surgery and the period of time you need to rest and recuperate before you can go back to work. And it's every 30-day increment, and it can be extended, and some, like, we'll go back to the knee replacement now, some, like the total knee replacement, can go for a year just due to the type of surgery, and then at the end of either the smaller period of time example or the year we talked about for the total knee replacement, the VA will call you in for an examination and rate where you are on the residuals after the surgery. You know, if it were me, I would hope that I would have a lower rating than I had before the surgery, because the purpose of surgery is to fix things. Normally you're going to come back probably to the same rating you had if everything worked out, and if because there's leftover problems from the surgery, you may end up with a higher rating than you had to start with.
And there are statutory exceptions to that. You mentioned the knee. When you have a TKR, total knee replacement, you're going to be granted a period of convalescence according to the statute, and it's 1 year after that.
Right.
You're going to be paid at the 100% rate. They re-rate your knee after that, but at a minimum, on that particular example, it's going to be a 30% evaluation for the knee. That goes for CABG, coronary artery bypass grafts, a lot of different conditions.
Yeah.
Prostate surgery. You're going to, well, let's talk about that, because there's so many Vietnam vets, we know that are coming down with prostate cancer. During the active, again, we're talking temporary 100% evaluations.
Right.
All right, let's say Vietnam vet, again, boots on the ground, Agent Orange exposed, confirmed. He has a prostate problem. Maybe he's at 0%, then all of a sudden it inflames and it's an active cancerous condition. Give us the details.
Okay, well, first off, you need to come see us and bring us the diagnosis from your doctor that the cancer is active, and then if at that point you have it, and hopefully you do, because the sooner you start treatment, the better.
Exactly, very important.
What kind of treatment you're undergoing. We file that for you, and you get the temporary 100%, and then that continues so long as you're under treatment. And for some unfortunate individuals that are clients of mine, they've 3 or 4 years they've been under chemo for prostate cancer and they're still under treatment. They're still getting a temporary 100%. But in the better examples, you get the temporary 100% for the period of time that you're under treatment. Then notify the VA that the treatment has ceased, and usually the treatment ceases because the prostate cancer has gone into remission. But in the case of prostate cancer, it's going to continue for 6 more months at a temporary 100%.
So that's good to know, you see. But now, after that 6-month period, again, this is all statutory, folks. This is in the law.
Yeah.
Then they're going to rate your residuals. Maybe you have some urinary incontinence. Maybe you've got loss of use of the creative organ. Those issues will be handled
That's
separately.
erectile dysfunction. A lot of people don't know what loss of use of creative organ means.
Thanks for pointing that out. We want to break it down, keep it simple. But you may end up with your actual prostate cancer being downgraded to 0% without any active residuals. But because you have ED, erectile dysfunction, you're going to get another little tag along, special monthly compensation for, what is it, $99 a month?
I was going to say right at $100 right now.
Yeah, so. SMCK, which will continue for the rest of your life.
Yeah, a lot of people don't think that's much recompense for,
well,
for
it's
the problem.
Something,
but,
you know, we got to come on.
Something, yeah.
You know, we've got an example. We've got warriors calling saying that they cannot get through to the VA, and we don't want to bash the VA ever, but doggone it, y'all need to call your congressman and say it's not going to work if our warriors are trying to get a hold of the VA, whether it's an education issue or a compensation issue, and they won't answer the phone. I have it on good report that the VA is literally saying call back later. And guess what, Glenn? They're even going so far as to call back during non-office hours. I'm not sure how any of this makes sense, but folks, it's going to take you making some noise saying you get the VA people to pick up the phone.
Yeah, you got to, folks, we need your help on this one. I can't get through to them. I haven't been able to get through to them.
This is the supervisor of the County Veteran Service Office.
For 3 months. I don't have a special number. I have the same number that you have. They don't give us a hidden number that we can get through on. I wish they would, but you do. You need to get to the congressman. You need to get to state senators. We need some pressure on the VA so that they expand their ability to take phone calls. The problem, obviously, is they're overloaded. They got more demand than they can handle, and they need to put more resources there and do it. They started with a thing where you could leave a message and initially...
make an appointment later.
Well, yeah, and they called you back in 3 or 4 days. They actually called you back. Now they just say, we're busy. Thank you for calling. Bye.
It's not going to work, folks, and we're not bashing the VA in any way, shape, or form, but I'm asking you. I don't care if you're listening to this American Warrior Radio episode in California or Iowa or wherever. Get on the phone, not to the VA. They're just going to tell you to call back later and hang up on you. Okay, I've got this. This is down pat here.
Yep.
You need to call your representatives, whether it's congressmen, senators, state, or federal, and make some noise. Tell them whatever they have to do. They have got to get enough people to answer the phones, because otherwise they're so insulated from the folks they're trying to help. Who's getting helped?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And us helping those who don't understand the system, and most people don't if you really get down to it. We can't get through either. I mean, you can't even get the helpers to help you.
And we're talking about 100% temporary. These are people that are hard up, need this money, this pay at the 100% rate now. Now, they know, hopefully enough, let's say the doctor makes the diagnosis and says, okay, you're going to be on convalescence for 90 days because of this surgery. And again, it could be elbow surgery, whatever, as long as it's a service-connected disorder.
Yeah, that's the key. It's a service-connected disability that gets the surgery.
Right. Now, you've got this opportunity to make claim for pay at the 100% rate based on convalescence. If you can't get through to the VA and say, what do I need to do, then you got a problem. You're going to have to find a credentialed service officer, maybe a chapter service officer or something, but really you have to focus on folks that know this rule and know this law. So you're going to be seeing people like Glenn to try and get this through. That's not good enough.
Yeah.
You know, there's only so many Glens around.
Yeah, and I will put in a plug for e-benefits. I suggest you enroll in e-benefits. because you can then get some information, because you can get it at least electronically that you can't get by voice because you can't get through to them.
Yeah, everybody should
But
be.
it's not perfect,
No.
and then they'll talk to you in ways that you won't understand.
That's
so.
right. E-benefits, VONAP, even My Health, eVet. Everybody should be taking advantage of these opportunities.
Absolutely.
Folks, we're coming down to the wire again. The hour goes so fast here on American Warrior Radio. One more plug. Indian River Colony Club, December 30th, 4 to 6 p.m. You're hearing the promos here on AM 1300 WMEL. Be there. Jump online or call 373-7046 and order your tickets. We need everybody to show up. We need the support. And I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas from me, and as always, don't forget, think of that.
Awesome job.